Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I am Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Two women found dead in Etobicoke house, male relative wanted for murder. Woman targeted in attempted kidnapping at Vaughan Mills Police. Ontario woman says she left stranded by Flair Airlines in Dominican Republic. Toronto police release photo of suspect wanted in grandparents' camp. Two drivers seriously injured in Aurora crash, police. GO train service on Milton Line Hamilton GO station suspended for second day. Man allegedly sexually assaults youth at GO station in Burlington.
These were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details.
A search is underway for a 33-year-old man after his two female relatives were found dead in a house in Etobicoke Friday afternoon. Toronto police said a concerned family member called them and asked that officers check on the relatives who live in the area of Sheldon and Silvercrest Avenue south of Evans Avenue. When officers arrived, they found two women suffering from injuries. Unfortunately, those females were beyond help and those females were pronounced on the scene, said Deputy Sergeant Jason Davis of the Homicide Unit. He did not disclose the nature of the victims' injuries. Police are actively looking for 33-year-old Joseph Ayala, who Davis says is a relative of the victims. He wanted for second-degree murder. Ayala is described as a white male, 5'11", with a shaved head. Police said he is known to wear a cowboy hat, a cowboy-style jacket with tassels on the sleeve, and black cowboy boots. We are currently actively looking to locate him, any address or places that we have identified. We are looking to bring him into custody safely and quickly, Davis said. If the public does see Mr. Ayala, please call 911. Please do not engage with him and contact us, and we will be there as quickly as possible. When asked about a possible motive, Davis said it was too early in the investigation to know. I can't speak to that. As I said, the Homicide Unit has taken over the investigation and we will pursue every avenue in hope of determining that, he said. Toronto police initially posted on Twitter that there was a significant police presence in the area. A neighbor recounted seeing officers going inside a home and hearing them shout at someone to drop a weapon multiple times. We did not see anybody come out of the house. I don't know, but it's scary. It really is, the neighbor, a woman who identified herself to Awaz News as Heather, said. She added that many initially thought there was a robbery. Heather said officers checked backyards, flew drones, and threw what appeared to be a smoke bomb inside the house. At least 4 suspects allegedly attempted to kidnap a woman at Vaughan Mills on Friday afternoon. York Regional Police said it received calls about the incident at around noon. The woman got away from her assailants, police said, and suffered minor injuries. This was a targeted incident and there is no threat to public safety, police said in a post on Twitter. Investigators said they are looking for at least 4 suspects dressed in black but did not provide further descriptive details about them. Police added that the suspect vehicle, a blue Honda Civic, had been stolen from Toronto. The vehicle has an Ontario license plate AXJN 850. Police are asking anyone with the information or footage of the incident to contact the 4 District Criminal Investigations Bureau at 1-866-876-5423 extension 7441. An Ontario woman accompanying her daughter's grad trip to the Dominican Republic said her group was left stranded after Flair Airlines cancelled their flight back to Toronto due to bad weather. Dion Trinka and her husband Jason Butler of Burlington, Ontario made the trip to Punta Cana on August 10th to chaperone the group of the 4 graduates. Trinka said the 7-day trip itself went smoothly. It wasn't until they were scheduled to fly back to Pearson International Airport that things took a turn. The flight with the low-cost carrier was scheduled to depart Punta Cana on August 17, just after 7 p.m., but was cancelled due to a storm in Toronto. It's at the point Trinka said that the 123 passengers on the cancelled flight were told the next available flight back to Toronto would depart 2 weeks later. What really bothers me is we were all initially told that we had to wait until August 31st, Trinka told Awaz News. Trinka, who used to work as a flight attendant for Flair, said multiple flights to Toronto with other airlines were available on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but they weren't rebooked to fly until Tuesday. Butler and one member of the group were rebooked on an Air Canada flight. Trinka, her daughter, and 2 other group members followed on a WestJet flight later that evening. While Flair covered the cost of the replacement return flights for Trinka's party, she said her group ran up $1,200 to $1,500 in extra costs on food and accommodation during their unplanned extra 3-day stay in the DR. She said Flair did not offer any kind of food vouchers. Butler was also required to pay to check his luggage on their return flight with Air Canada, Trinka said. When I worked for them, I was very proud. I always vouched for them, Trinka said. But after seeing the way that they treated people as a customer, it just changed my whole view of that airline. Butler added that while he understands weather conditions are out of an airline's control, he said Flair customers could have been treated better. In a statement to Awaz News, Flair cited the record-breaking storm that poured nearly 2 months' worth of rain on the city in just a few hours as the reason for the cancellations. The storms in YYZ caused massive disruptions across all airline networks, including Flair's network. For the safety of the passengers and crew, the decision to cancel the flight from UJ to land in YYZ was made out of an abundance of caution, Kim Bowie, Flair's director of communications, said in an email. Bowie said all 123 passengers on the flight were contacted about the cancellation and have all been informed of their options to book a return flight with Flair or another carrier if they haven't already done so at Flair's expense. Gable Lucas is the president of the advocacy group Air Passengers Right and said even though the cancellation appears to be outside of the Flair's control due to the weather, affected passengers could still be entitled to compensation beyond having their return flights reimbursed. He said that because Flair is considered a large carrier under the Air Passenger Protection Regulations, APPR, it is required to offer passengers alternate transportation on its own or partners' flights departing within 48 hours of the original departure time shown on the passenger's ticket. Since Flair failed to comply with its rebooking obligations, according to Trinka, Lucas said the airline must not only pay for the cost of alternate transportation purchased, as Flair said it had done, but also any expenses incurred by passengers between the first available flight back to Toronto and the flight which brought them home. If Flair's refuses to pay, I would take the airline to small claims court, not the Canadian Transportation Agency that is known for its cozy relationship with the airlines, he said. Toronto police are looking for a woman who is wanted in connection with a grandparent scam. Police said the victim received a phone call on May 28 from someone pretending to be their grandson, informing them that he had arrested. The fake grandson then passed the phone to another person posing as a cop who told the victim they needed a bank card to show the judge, police said. A woman later went to the victim's home, allegedly got their bank card and withdrew funds. On Friday, police released a photo of the suspect, who is believed to be 30 years old, who was last seen wearing a white shirt, a denim jacket with knit sleeves and a hood, and silver cross necklace. Anyone with the information is asked to contact police at 416-828-1200 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Police remind the public that they never attend anyone's address in full or partial uniform to collect cash or banking information. They also say officers and other law enforcement officials were never contacted family members to request money for bail or send someone to pick up money. Police advise the public not to confirm any personal information over the phone and call authorities or another family member to verify information following a suspicious call. According to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, the scam has resulted in over $23 million in losses across the country as of April 2024. Two drivers have serious injuries after a crash in Aurora on Friday, York Regional Police say. It happened on Bathurst Street between Wellington and Kennedy Streets, police said in a post to Twitter. Images from the scene show two badly damaged vehicles on the roadway. The cause of the crash is unclear at this time. Police said their investigation is still in its early stages. Bathurst Street was closed in the immediate area but has since reopened. As the federal government moves into the end a rail labor dispute that has caused supply chain issues across the country, some commuters in the Toronto area are still feeling the effects of the job action. Milton Go Line users are the most impacted and were forced to find alternative routes for the second day in a row Friday as train service remains suspended. Metrolinx told Awaz News Thursday night that service was not resuming because it had not been informed by Canadian Pacific Kansas City Limited (CPKC), which owns the tracks, of when traffic control operators affected by the work stoppage would return. There will also be no train stopping at the Hamilton GO station on Friday. No other lines on GO Transit are impacted. Metrolinx also said bus schedules may be adjusted and that there are some service adjustments at the Aldershot GO station. On Thursday, GO services on the Milton line and the Hamilton GO station were suspended after more than 9,000 rail workers were locked out by CPKC and the Canadian National Railway Company. The union representing the workers and the companies were unable to reach an agreement before Thursday's 12:01 a.m. deadline, resulting in nationwide railway closures. Less than 24 hours into the lockout, McKinnon announced that he would ask the Canada Industrial Relations Board to order a return to work and impose binding arbitration. After McKinnon's announcement, CN and CPKC confirmed they were preparing to restart operations. In an update Friday morning, rail workers pushed back against Ottawa's efforts to intervene in the strike, with the Teamsters union issuing a 72 strike notice against CN. The union, representing some 3,300 employees at Canadian Pacific Kansas City Limited, is also challenging the federal government's binding arbitration proposal. Speaking to an unrelated news conference on Friday, Ontario Transport Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria called the service suspension in the Greater Toronto Area significant and said about 10,000 commuters are being impacted. Metrolinx encouraged Milton Line customers to consider local transit options or use GO Transit services on the Lakeshore West or Kitchener Line amid the suspension of service. Meanwhile, Hamilton GO Station customers can access services at West Harbour GO Station or use regularly scheduled GO bus service on Route 16. A 67-year-old man allegedly sexually assaulted a youth waiting at the Appleby GO station in Burlington on Thursday. Halton Regional Police Service said it happened at around 9:30 p.m. in the station's waiting area. According to police, a female youth was sitting there when she was approached by the accused. Officers said the man allegedly put his hands on her multiple times. The girl managed to get away from the suspect and called police. Later Thursday, police found and arrested the suspect at the Burlington GO station on Fairview Street. Officers charged Donald Rogers with sexual assault. The charge has not been tested in court. Police are asking anyone with information to call the Child Abuse and Sexual Assault Unit at 905-825-4777 extension 8970 or Crime Stoppers anonymously.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.